Do you know that your heart beats over 100,000 times every single day? Yes, your heart beats over 100,000 times every single day, because your heart is just like the engine to your life. So you must take good care of your heart so that you can live healthy. Your heart generally is the major function of your well-being, and if your heart is being tampered with, if you're having a heart problem, then definitely you are going to be having serious problems. Heart disease has been proven to be the major cause of death worldwide, and this can be prevented through healthy living and a very good lifestyle. Welcome back to RightLiving Natural TV channel, where we educate people on how they can live healthy naturally. My name is Michael. Today, I'll be discussing how simple food habits can actually support our heart health. So today, I'll be talking about some food that are very dangerous, that are harmful to the heart. The first thing I would like to talk about is excessive salt intake. This excessive salt intake can actually lead to what we call high blood pressure, and you know what that means. When you start having high blood pressure, so you start welcoming a lot of disease and sickness into your body, and this is very harmful to your body in general. So the next point I'm going to talk about is the too much consumption of fatty food and oily food. You must do with or reduce the extent at which you eat all these fatty and oily food. They are not good for the heart. We all know that fried food generally they contain fatty oil, and this oil does more harm than good to the body. So you need to reduce and limit how you eat all this fried food. Another thing I would like to talk about is your processed meat and canned meat. Processed meat like what? Like your sausage, hot dogs. These meats are not good. They are not healthy for you. So you must do away with them so you can have a better heart health. The last part I'm going to talk about under the food that harms the heart is the excessive intake of sugar, energy drink, and carbonated drinks. Most of us, if we want to cook, probably we are cooking beans, we add sugar. If we want to pepper, we add sugar. If we want to do garri, we add sugar. Excessive intake of these sugars, energy drink, and carbonated drinks, they stress the heart and can actually lead to what we call diabetes and heart palpitation. So you must do away or reduce the amount of sugar you take into your body. Fine, we need sugar in our body, but it must be minimal. It must not be too much. So remember I've talked about the food that harm the heart. So now let's talk about the food that support the heart health. So now the first food I'm going to talk about is your fruits. Yes, we all know that food generally they are disease fighter. They support the overall immune system of your body. So inculcate the habit of eating food on a regular basis. What are the foods we can take? You can take your oranges. Oranges are good in they are a good source of vitamin C. Then take your watermelon, take your avocado, pear, take bananas. All these food they are good for the body. They support the heart health generally. Next one I'm going to talk about is your vegetables. Vegetables are very good. They support the heart health. You can eat your spinach, you can eat your ugu, ewedu, blend it together. Eat varieties of vegetables. They are good for the heart and they are good for your body as well. So another food that is healthy to our heart is fish. Fish like sardine and mackerel, they are good source of omega-3 fatty acids. So they support the heart health. Okay, so now remember I talked about food that harms the body. So now I'll be talking about healthy eating habit. The first thing I would like to talk about is do not overload your plate. What do I mean by that? Most of us, anytime we are eating, we try to rush everything and at a stand, try to finish everything up. This is very bad, and you have to try as much as possible to eat your food one piece at a time. Try and chew your food properly so that it can help digestion properly, and this also supports the heart. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is, instead of going after your seasoning, adding too much of seasoning, why can't you use natural spices like your ginger, your garlic, your cinnamon? All these things, they are good for the body. So try as much as possible to reduce too much of seasonings and try natural spices. Then also drink water instead of carbonated drink. We all know that water helps to relieve headache, and water helps to relieve stress. Then also water helps in blood circulation. So instead of taking all this energy drink, all this carbonated drink, why not go after water? Because water generally supports our overall wellness. So if you have been following me, the first point I made mention of, I talk about food that harms the heart health. Then also I talk about some food that actually support the heart health. Then I move on to the healthy eating habits. So in all, our heart can be compared to that of a car engine. When a car engine is faulty, definitely the car will not function properly. Likewise, our heart as well. If we're having heart problem or we're having any issue with our heart, then definitely our overall body functioning will not be 100%. Try as much as possible to take good care of your health and stay healthy. And don't forget you are watching Right Living Natural Health TV channel. Make sure you like, make sure you share, and make sure you drop a comment. See you next time. Stay blessed.